Good morning. Welcome back to the Retirement Report. I'm Hank Parrott, your host. All right, we got a call. We'll go right to the phones, and this is Clara. Clara, welcome to the Retirement Report. Good morning. How can I help this morning?
Well, I don't know. I'm just asking a question. Okay, my husband that died in '85.
Okay.
And well, I don't know exactly when I started drawing Social Security, but I was just drawing $600 a month at the time.
Right.
But in '92, I went out and got me a job. So now that I didn't have any up at the time because I didn't work. My husband worked. So I had to draw his Social Security.
Right.
So now, since I've been working, can I file for mine and add to that?
Have you got at least 10 years worth of work history?
So have I got what?
10 years?
Yeah.
Of work history? Yes.
I've been working there since 92 or
Are you still?
92
Oh,
or
okay.
97.
And you're still working there?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's what you want to do. You want to contact the Social Security Administration, and yes, you want them to take a look at that and see which is going to give you the bigger benefit, under your husband's or under your own benefit.
Oh, that means, well, see,
and
that's what I did to start with, and my husband was the biggest, so I can't draw both of them, can I?
No, you can't get two checks, but you can get the higher of the two checks, and that can change if you continue to work. It may, in fact, be that it would change and you would get a higher amount. Once you reach age 70.
Husband, he had 30 years up, so I guess I better just leave it alone because I haven't been working that long to build mine up.
Right. Well, they're not going to take anything from you. They'll just, if you call them to check, they'll either say, no, you're getting a bigger check now, just keep it the way it is, or if there is more money available, they'll let you know. But they won't take anything away.
I might just need to leave it alone because from 90, I think it's 97 to now, I couldn't build up more than 30 years. My husband had 30 years up. So
okay.
I'm just saying, I wonder, can I draw mine and his?
No, not two checks, just one.
You said no.
That's correct.
Okay, so I better just leave it alone because you know from 97 to now, it's not more than 30 years. He had 30 years up.
Hold on just a second. I'm going to address that with it as well, okay?
Okay.
All right, let me see here. There we go. All right. So here's the thing to understand with regard to Social Security. It's not just the amount of years, it's the amount of money. So it's not just, someone may have worked 30 years, but depending on their earning capacity, that doesn't mean that is going to necessarily generate a bigger check. Someone could have worked half that time, but making maybe twice as much and end up with a higher check. So it has to do with not only the amount of years, but it also has to do with how much you made during those years. All right, you know, this is one of the things is when you get into Social Security and these questions about when to take and whether or not to, you know, and it doesn't hurt to check, okay? If you have a situation where you're not sure about what your earnings are, one, get an opinion, all right? This is one of the things we do again. So in fact, I'll throw it out there. For the first 10 callers to my office this morning, 615-376-5325. If you'd like to get a free retirement income analysis, this is going to be a full comprehensive financial plan. We get into tax planning, we get into risks of all kinds that you may be looking at with regard to your investment portfolio as an example, how to minimize taxes, tax-efficient portfolios is another way to do that. Social Security, we're going to talk about how to minimize taxation on your Social Security benefits. Estate planning and the issues that you get into there, the importance of having powers of attorney and all, as well as maybe the difference between wills and trusts, which one's going to make the most sense for you. There's so many things we get into. We get into special needs. Whatever your specific situation is, we are going to build that plan around it. We're going to make sure that we address all the concerns specific to you. You know, this is one of the things, well, again, first 10 callers, 615-376-5325. Tess is standing by. She'll get your information. She'll send you out a little packet, a little form to fill out, and a list of things to bring to your appointment with me. So again, 615-376, this is just for the first 10 callers again, 615-376-5325. One of the things I want to mention, by the way, Of course, the show replays over the weekend. You may be catching it on the weekend. Guess what? We do this, we allow, again, for you. We want you to be able to get in. So for those, if you're watching this on Saturday or Sunday, please give us a call. You know, we're looking forward to hearing from you, and we'll figure out a way to get you in as well. First 10 callers, free retirement income analysis, full-blown comprehensive plan. You get to come in and visit with me. Again, Tess is standing by to get your information, 615-376-5325. And when you come in to see me, I'll also give you a copy of my book, 7 Steps to Financial Freedom in Retirement. And this lays out a lot of the planning that we do and gets into a lot of detail for you as well there. Okay, now, one of the things I want to share with you, and this is from Tony Robbins' new book called Unshakable. It's a great book. And one of the things he talks about is understanding the value of the right advisor. You know, it gets into talking about and understanding the difference between a registered investment advisor, for instance, and a registered rep, let's say, or another financial advisor. So here's the example. In the United States, all right, Tony talks about there are 308,937 financial advisors, over 300,000. However, only 31,000, or about 10%, are registered investment advisors, as we are with my firm, okay? As a registered investment advisor, we're fiduciaries. So he goes on to say, so RIAs, or independent advisors, like doctors and lawyers, they have a fiduciary duty and a legal obligation to act in their clients' best interests at all times, all right? That's the legal standard for an RIA, is that of a fiduciary. Well, he goes on to say there's also what are called duly registered advisors. So what this means is they can be both in the brokerage world as well as, in other words, earning commissions on the financial products, as well as, or on the mutual funds and that, as well as registered investment advisors. So here's the problem. All right, if you've got that, how many of those, of that 31,000, he said 26,000 of those operate in this gray area where they're basically both in the brokerage world as well as the broker-dealer world as well as that of the fiduciary. So one of the things that, when you take that out, then you're left with about 5,000 out of 300,000, or a little over about 1.5%, okay, of the advisors out there are fiduciaries. So this is one of the areas, and according to Tony, you know, he points out some good things about the value of that. We do as well. This is I got out of the broker-dealer system over 12 years ago. I've never looked back. I determined this is the way I wanted to do my business, was acting as a fiduciary and under that legal standard. So here's something else. If you're skeptical about, this is another great piece on Tony about the value of having the right advisor. While the wrong advisors can be detrimental to your financial health, the right ones can be worth their value in gold. A recent Vanguard study, if you're familiar with Vanguard funds, a great fund family, by the way, the originator of index funds. So, I mean, unfortunately, they've got into active management as well. So you got to be selective in your Vanguard funds of making sure, you know, I'm a big believer on the index side, much as the founder of Vanguard, John Bogle, is. But let's go back to this. A recent Vanguard study explored exactly how much monetary value an advisor can bring to your investments. So here are some of the areas. One, lowering your expense ratios. This is a big one. I've had clients come in that have products that have expenses, fees, if you will, from anywhere from 3 to 4% up to I think the highest one I saw was 6% a year. That's a tremendous amount of fees to be paid out to try to make any money. So when you're looking at the lowering expense ratios by 45 basis points, that's an extra 0.5% back in your pocket. Rebalancing your portfolio when it's needed, that can add another 1/3% back in your pocket. Asset allocation, understanding this. All right. With asset allocation, this is going to be the biggest determinant of how much money you're going to make on your money. All right, on your investments. It's so critical to get this right. Asset allocation alone, when done right, and I see it in our modeling. When we do the asset allocation models that we utilize and I compare them to portfolios that new clients bring in, I mean, the difference is astounding. Amount of money that we're able to save them and reduce risk at the same time. Asset allocation adds about 75 basis points, about 0.75% of increased performance to your portfolio. Withdrawing the right, this is from Vanguard again, right? Withdrawing the right investments in retirement, 70 basis points. Getting that right as far as the income plan. Behavioral coaching, 150 basis points for serving as your practical psychologist. In other words, again, it's helping you stay disciplined, get the right plan, and then stay on plan. So it's a grand total, that's 3.75% of added value per year, which is easily, that's like almost 4 times what the average advisor would charge for that, all right? So it's a tremendous value to you, and that's not even counting taxation and other things that we get into. And in fact, when we come back from this break, we are going to talk about number 4, minimizing taxation of benefits. Join us here. We'll be right back on the Retirement Report.